G'day to those that have just joined us. Just got the live feed for the radar going with this supercell in southeast Queensland. It has a history of dumping at least 9 centimetre hail, and it is starting to come off the ranges now. So, in its current track, it looks like it's going to go over the Lockyer area to the west of Brisbane. It will likely affect Gatton. It has weakened a touch, but it's still producing some pretty large hail, which if we just swap the view, once it loads, apparently it's not going to load. Okay. But anyway, that purple area, I couldn't actually get the radar type to load just then, but where this purple is the core, hail core, and this is producing dangerous hail at this stage and microbursts. So anyone around Gatton in that general area should take shelter now, just to be on the safe side, because this is quite a powerful cell we've got coming through. There is a bit of cap towards the coast, so as you can see over the Brisbane area, as this storm's reached the more towards the coast, they died off more. So it's most likely this will die off before it gets too close to the coast, but we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens, because it's quite a powerful cell at the moment, so it could punch through that cap. Here we go. It decided to actually load the radar type feature that I wanted it to load. Okay, so this is called a specific differential phase, and it can be used to find any hail inside a storm. Usually these colorations here indicate large hail. So as you can see, it's been pretty potent as it's gone along, and it's still holding on to that strength right about now. So yeah, it's still got a bit of hail, and that hail core is quite large and going towards Gatton, as I mentioned in my last commentary. And we'll just look at the velocity. Now, there's been quite a few microbursts coming down with this storm, as shown by this quite fast speeds of wind here. It's eased up a little bit with that, but it's still producing those hailstones. So yeah, Gatton needs to be aware of that and just prepare. I'll just have a little bit of an explore around of the other radars. I'm using radar scopes, so it's a bit different to what I was using yesterday. Let's try and pick up. Here we go. So we've got another line of storms coming in from the west. So this will bring probably more so a rainy mess, maybe squall line later on this afternoon to the southeast Queensland area. So that's just slowly pushing in. Well, actually quite fast pushing into it, actually. Behind the supercell that we've got in the region at the moment. As I mentioned earlier, as it approaches the coast, as you can see with this line here, it breaks apart a bit and spreads out just to a rainy mess. So the coast has got a bit of cap to it. Now, modeling didn't show that to me yesterday, or I was just blind, one or the other. But soundings this morning, so the actual observational sounding of the atmosphere over Brisbane, showed quite a strong coastal cap. So coastal regions are likely to miss out on a majority of the storms at this stage, unless the cap breaks. So if any particularly strong storms develop like this one, this could punch through that cap on the coast and get to the coastal line. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. But for now, Gatton looks to be in the firing line, although the worst of it may just scrape to the side. We'll just have to keep an eye on that one, but it looks like it may go slightly to the west and go away from the main part of Gatton. These radar images are usually updated about every 10 minutes. But currently, and the time on these, if you can see the time, I'm pretty sure it does show you. These times are of my local time, and I'm in Darwin. So these are not half an hour late as they look. They are the latest radar images, just it's in my local time, so it looks like it's later than it actually is. I mean, they're older than they actually are when they're not. So just bear in mind with that. Now, just the history of this thing and why I've gotten live for this particular one is it has 9 centimeter hail, as the banner says at the bottom of the stream there. So this storm is quite dangerous. So we had 9 centimeter hails at Pratton, 5 centimeter hails at Clifton, and we had 2 centimeter hails reported at Mount Walker, so not quite as bad at Mount Walker there, but that's what the reports we've had so far. Just check in for the update. Yeah, there is no update currently. So that's currently what we've got. So this is why I've got this one up, because this could bring some decent hail to anyone within that purple area there. Just, oops, no, I don't want that one. We'll just go back to velocity here. And once it gets to the latest image, pause it there. Okay, so we've still got that strong wind near the core, as you can see here by the not the dark red, but the lighter red in this particular case, and the lighter green. They are showing quite strong winds there. Not as strong as they have been. Unfortunately, they didn't go past any weather stations, so we don't have any recordings, although there might be chasers out there that had equipment, so hopefully they may have got some data out there. But on the past echoes here, you can see that the lighter green got quite strong at one point, so that indicates quite a strong microburst out that way. So it's definitely producing some interesting weather, and being that it was on its own, it's not so much on its own now. That's why it produced better conditions earlier, but now it's kind of hitting a bit of other stuff around here. So it may not produce quite as bad as it did earlier, but we'll keep an eye on it. And yeah, it looks like it's just going to slip to the west of Gatton, possibly. Maybe scrape Gatton. I think Gatton's going to get a lot of heavy rain regardless, but hopefully they miss on the hail core there, because it's only a day out from when they had a Halloween hailstorm a few years back. So that will be bringing a few horror story memories back for people. But anyway, keep an eye on this. I will come back and talk through any more developments. Just keep an eye on the radar, and like I say, anyone in Gatton, be prepared. But I think the worst is going to scrape to the west by the looks of it. So just on the last few images here, still looks like the worst should go around Gatton, but we do have a bit of purple heading for them. Not quite the dark purple, thankfully, but definitely some heavy rain and possibly light, small hail for Gatton. So we'll just check this other thing that I showed earlier. So yeah, the echoes on this particular radar type is showing a lot less heavier hail there, so that's good. So just be the lighter stuff as it scrapes past Gatton there. So it does look like that this storm is getting weakened by the cap close to the coast here. So that's good. So we'll track this. I'll keep live streaming why it's a potential danger, but it looks like it's weakening just by these last few frames here. So just keep an eye on it and see what happens for now. But yeah, it looks like Gatton's definitely going to miss the worst of it, thankfully. Redlands will likely just get a bit of rain, maybe a few embedded lightning strikes at this stage, James. Um, as someone that used to live in Redlands, up in Birkdale actually, we always used to miss out on the best stuff, except for occasionally. But yeah, there's a bit of cap on the coast, so it's not likely you're going to get too much, other than a bit of rain and a few bolts probably. Yeah, James, it looks like a bit more is heading for Brizzy, but yeah, as usual for the coast there, a bit less. Just a bit of rain hitting Redlands now by the looks of that. And as for the Sunshine Coast, yeah, this later stuff may affect the Sunshine Coast here, which is moving across. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that as it comes along. Because there's still plenty of energy out there, and there's nothing happened up here so far, as far as I'm aware. So there should be a lot of energy up in there as of more. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Just an update on the conditions going on. Looks like a little Supercell has got another second bout of life as it passed Gatton. It's heading up towards the Sunshine Coast, so I may be wrong in my assessment that that second line will be the one to watch. It looks like this little Supercell is actually the one to watch for you guys in Sunshine Coast. Someone asked about Glasshouse Mountains earlier. Just watching this, it's possible that this cell will impact the area. It's just it's very hard because they do wobble about a bit, so it's hard to exactly pinpoint where it's going. But current trends show that it could head up that direction. Let me just get my little pen and start drawing. So it's generally heading that direction up there. So anywhere in there, and maybe even out here, could be impacted by this cell. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, it's definitely got its second wind going again. Because it's hit an area of sky that is plenty of energy and moisture again. As you can see, that hail core did ease up a little bit, but yeah, there's the risk of large to giant hail once again with this thing. So keep an eye on this. I will keep this running for as long as it needs to stay running. Hopefully you guys in the Sunshine Coast don't get affected and it just affects this mostly open area, but we will watch and I will update as it progresses. Okay, let's have a look at the Doppler, James, just to check. Doesn't appear. It's a bit gusty. Yeah, it's a bit windy, but I wouldn't say it was too squally. Yeah, it's not really. These lighter colours here, you see them just past Brisbane and go east towards the Redlands. It's nothing too dramatic. So yeah, I don't think there's any squall going by the Doppler. You'd probably have a better idea being actual there, but going by the Doppler, it doesn't look like there's any squall going towards the Redlands anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it goes with these setups. There's people that throw out all different things, and yeah, you got to kind of filter through it all. But I'll try and keep it as accurate as I can. I'm always watching other pages where they have storm chasers actually on the ground. So I wait until I hear from actual people that are out there before I make any claims or give any information. But for now, yeah, according to Doppler, there's no scroll line for you. But we'll keep an eye on. It may come as a scroll with that stuff. Oops, I'm in the wrong window. The stuff to the west as it's coming along, it's quite strong, this stuff over here. But that looks like that's going to go up towards the Sunshine Coast and Fraser Coast at this point.